Hey there, horror fans! Ever wonder how horror movies went from creepy castles and mad scientists to masked slashers and psychological terrors? Let's dive into the evolution of horror films and how they've mirrored our deepest societal fears. In the early days, American horror films took a lot of cues from European folklore and literature. Think Dracula and Frankenstein. These stories, while spooky, didn't quite tap into American anxieties. It wasn't until movies like Freaks and King Kong hit the screen that horror started to reflect social issues, like the exploitation during the Great Depression. These films suggested that the real monsters weren't on the screen, but in our society. Fast forward to the Atomic Age, and you'll see a shift. Movies like Them and Invasion of the Body Snatchers played on fears of nuclear war and communist infiltration. The idea of the other became central, fueling paranoia during the McCarthy era. These films captured a society on edge, worried about hidden enemies and the potential for widespread destruction. The late 20th century brought another big change. Slasher films like Halloween, Friday the 13th, and A Nightmare on Elm Street emerged, often reflecting fears about teenage rebellion and changing social norms. These movies usually served as twisted morality tales, punishing characters for breaking societal taboos. Then came the AIDS epidemic, casting a dark shadow over the genre. Films like The Fly became allegories for the fear and uncertainty surrounding the disease. At the same time, Black filmmakers started exploring themes of race, class, and social injustice in films like Death by Temptation and Tales from the Hood. The 2000s introduced us to a world grappling with terrorism and the breakdown of social order. Films like Saw, Hostel, and The Strangers tapped into fears of torture, terrorism, and societal collapse. These movies reflect a sense of disillusionment and anxiety in a post-9/11 world. So, there you have it. Horror films have always been more than just scares and screams. They've mirrored our deepest fears and anxieties, evolving with the times. Next time you watch a horror movie, think about what it might be saying about the world we live in. Thanks for watching, and stay spooky.